The Greens will call on the next government to commit to an international ban on the mining and manufacture of asbestos. Asbestos continues to be used in developing countries, with over 2 million tonnes produced in 2008. There is an estimated 125 million people around the world still exposed to asbestos in their home and work environment. Ladies and gentlemen, Australia, with its own terrible experience of asbestosis, can lead in helping the World Health Organisation and International Labour Organisation to achieve a comprehensive ban on asbestos. The Greens will also move to establish a Parliamentary Budget Office, a PBO, which will provide economic and budgetary advice to Parliament, similar to the Congressional Budget Office in the United States. This PBO would provide alternative costings for budget and policy, removing the reliance on government departments. It would put an end to the squabbling over debates on the economy and the costings of policies between the major parties, which has so dominated this election campaign and indeed many campaigns before it. A Parliamentary Budgetary Office will make our democracy better informed and more accountable to the Australian people. Which takes me to the next Parliament. Let no one undervalue the roll gold contribution to the House of Representatives there will be if the people of Melbourne or of Denison or Grayndler or Sydney or Adelaide or Fremantle vote a Green MP onto the floor of the House of Representatives. Adam Batt, if elected in Melbourne, can take into the House the program I am outlining here today. He will not just be another backbencher. He will be there to advocate and campaign over the next 3 years for the Greens' platform of innovation. Adam will be able to introduce legislation to end marriage discrimination. He will back the rights of refugees. He will move to abolish the dubious Australian Building Construction Commission, and he will advocate better funding for schools in need. A Labor or Liberal member for Melbourne will do none of those things. In the Senate, the coalition is one seat short of control, especially in the 11 months between now and next July, when newly elected senators from the states take up their seat in the Senate. However, if in the Australian Capital Territory our Greens' Lynn Hatfield-Dodds displaces Liberal Senator Humphries, he who also voted against the schools building program, she will immediately take up her seat and so ward off the domination of the Senate. She will be a Greens frontbencher, replacing a Liberal backbencher for the people of the ACT. And ladies and gentlemen, in the ACT, voters are now very aware that the Abbott team is committing to cutting 12,000 positions from the Commonwealth Public Service in 2010. One study indicated that with flow-ons, that will be 30,000 jobs lost. So the prospect of a coalition-dominated Senate looms large. Labor can't win a Senate majority. But if a Gillard Labor government is elected this Saturday, a coalition-dominated Senate will spell parliamentary gridlock. If an Abbott government is elected and also controls the Senate, that'll leave Parliament every bit as debilitated as it was in the Howard years. Remember how between 2004 and 2007 the hugely unpopular work choices laws were rammed through both houses of Parliament by the Howard government, and Telstra was sold out of public ownership. That's why a vote for the Greens in the Senate is so important. The ACT will save the day if it votes for Senator Hatfield-Dodds. But the Greens bonus is within the reach of every other Australian voter as well. In Queensland, the Senate option is for Greens candidate Larissa Waters. In New South Wales, it's Lee Rhiannon. In Victoria, it's Richard Di Natale. In South Australia, it's Penny Wright. In in the Northern Territory, it's Warren H. Williams. And of course, Tasmanian and Western Australians voters can ensure the return of two of contemporary Australia's most outstanding parliamentarians. That's Christine Milne and Rachel Seward. The Greens are on 10 to 14% in the polls. Yet we've injected most of the nation-building ideas into this campaign. Where the Coalition and Labor are failing the hopes of Australians, we offer stability, experience, leadership and a real vision for voters to latch onto. We will give Australians the accountability they deserve in the Senate. We will be the people's watchdog, whichever party wins office next Saturday. That is my commitment to all Australian voters. I do have a vision for Australia, and I won't be consulting the telephone book to refine it. And I won't be asking you to suspend belief unless it's written down. The Greens are the smaller party with the big ideas for Australia up against the bigger parties with the small ideas. That's why next Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, Australians who seek an assured, secure and exciting future for this great nation of ours should go to the ballot box with a new purpose in mind, and that is to vote Green. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Brown.